Who's opening this frantic Pringles?
You seem like you're good at talking. Why don't you do it?
Nah, that's a meme. This guy just gives up after trying to say can of Pringles like 3 times, and he just stares at the camera. But welcome back to Closing Shift, episode 9.
Is it episode 9 already?
Episode 9. That's just over 2 months.
All right. Well, thanks for listening with us for 2 months. Now we're quitting. Goodbye.
It
As is tradition,
over.
every 6 months we're quitting our channel.
Yeah, we're like the Phoenix.
The Phoenix?
Like the legend of the penis. You wanted to open this with a thing.
I did, but I don't remember what it was.
Cool.
I was trying to remember what it was, but you went to pee or something and I forgot.
I sure did.
But anyway, yeah, welcome back to the show. I am obviously one of your hosts, Emmy, and that is obviously your other host, Mia. Obviously.
Hi.
And we are here on a lovely Friday, definitely Friday.
Definitely.
And it is just a lovely day here. Lots of rain where I live. And
oh, really?
Yeah. Not lots, but like a lot of a little rain. So it's not like pouring, but it's raining lightly a lot.
We've been getting a lot of crazy weather around here. It's like there's 2 times a year in Arizona where the weather just starts popping the fuck off for no reason. So you might actually hear in the background of my microphone, depending on if it picks up or not, intense winds slapping the side of my house that I can hear in my ears.
Yeah.
We get the rain that we get here in this season is that it's like we don't get like a full day of rain or like even a proper rain shower, anything like that. When it starts to rain here, it'll rain for 30 seconds maximum. And it's like a cloud just busted a nut on your house. And that's as long as it lasts. And in that like intensity, it's just like, and then done.
That happens a lot here when it rains for like a long time. It's a lot of back and forth between no rain and a lot. Very similar to the cloud nutting metaphor you used. But I will say that I've been on a pretty good productive streak. I guess I haven't really, would have only been like 1 podcast since my sleep schedule and my life is kind of turning around.
Yeah.
In terms of, my entire life, just in the sense that it's like everything I do is getting better because I'm getting on a better schedule about it. And I've been working on that. I had like it's actually fun. This is actually really funny how this rounds out this story because I just remembered the irony of it. Like you guys are going to love this story when I do tell it. It's so funny. It's such a good story. Like I can't wait to tell it to you guys.
Do tell.
I was just like perpetuating. But so I'm in college, as some of you may know, as some of you may not know. I'm in college. I will be in college for at least another 1.5 to 2 years, probably closer to a year or a year and a half. I don't really know because my credits are weird, but that's not the point of the story.
Damn, that's a light sentence.
I just don't know. Well, it's because I went to college in 2019 for like 1.5 years, and I dropped out fall of 2020 when like Zoom S&P and stuff was going on. I dropped out. Yeah. As some of my friends might remember. I don't think when I was streaming as Milk is Superior back then I talked about it. I might have, but I had like a whole sit down, short side story. I had like a sit down with my parents at a dinner. Like we went out to dinner to like talk about me dropping out, and I like brought it up to them and I was like, I want to drop out of college. I don't think it's for me. I don't like it. And they were like, we're disappointed, but we're not going to stop you. And we just mutually both agreed that I didn't like college and they didn't like my decision, but we were both going to move forward. I
didn't like college. They didn't like me not liking college, so I didn't like them.
So I didn't like them, and then they didn't like me for not liking them, that they didn't like that I didn't like college. So
I feel bad about you, feel bad about me, feel better.
Literally. Yeah. It's just and then we performed Therapy from, what is that musical called?
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Shit. I know what it's called because I listened to Therapy. That's the name of that song.
I feel like it has a B in it.
I don't feel like it does, but it might. It's that one with Andrew Garfield and Vanessa Hudgens from Netflix. Oh, it's called Tick, Tick, Boom. I was about to look it up, but I remember
Tick, Tick, Boom. That's it. I was thinking of the B and Boom.
Yes, the B and Boom, the T and Tick, and the T and the other Tick.
You come crying to me, but it's too late.
I literally only remember that one song, Therapy, because I heard it I heard it for the first time somehow, and then I just became obsessed with it. I remember too, because I was kind of obsessed with Andrew Garfield for a little bit there. So I was listening to that song and I watched like The Social Network. Actually, what got me to watch The Social Network, I will get back to that other story, by the way. I'm sorry. But what got me to watch The Social Network is I saw have you seen The Social Network?
No.
Okay. There's a scene in it because it's about Facebook and Mark Zuckerberg and shit.
Yeah.
And I don't know his name, but Andrew Garfield plays the character of like the guy who helped Mark Zuckerberg create Facebook, that he like Zuckerberged out of it famously or whatever. So he shows up. There's a scene of Andrew Garfield showing up to the Facebook headquarters as that character. And he like yells at Mark about the stocks in Facebook. And it's just like, I don't know how to describe the scene, but it's in the middle of the movie. I'm sure anybody who's seen it knows what I'm talking about, but he just like yells and it's like a really dramatic scene. And he like walks up to once he finds out Mark betrayed him, he like runs up and grabs his laptop, smashes it on the table. He's like, huh, you still wired in? You got I got your attention now? Anyway, pretty good movie, honestly. But back to the story I was telling before so that Mia can actually talk. My bad. Didn't mean to take up all this time.
Look, I'll let you know if you're talking for too much.
I'll wrap up the other story. So what I was saying about like my schedule getting better and stuff. Last year in 2023, during spring break, which is like the first week or the second week of March for me, I had a huge depressive episode during that week. This is spring break 2023. My sleep schedule got super fucked up. It was like perfect the entire year up until that point. For the first like 2.5 months of 2023, it was perfect. And it got fucked up and it never got fixed. I had a couple good nights where I would get a full night's sleep, but it never got fixed. Throughout the rest of 2023 and the beginning of 2024, I had horrible sleep. There was even a time in December where I was awake for like 3 days and it was fucking horrible. And I'm sure anybody with ADHD and insomnia and stuff like that can relate. Woo. But the irony of it is that this past spring break that was just a couple weeks ago, I had a day where I didn't sleep the night before and I went to sleep at night. And since then, my sleep schedule's been great. So I literally fucked up my sleep schedule spring break 2023, and almost exactly a year later, it got fixed and has been consistent for weeks. And that kind of is bittersweet to me. It's kind of fucked up, but it's also really funny.
Crazy how long that is, though.
No, I know. I mean, like, think about a year of like either inconsistent sleep or like several days where you're awake for multiple days. I mean, the closest person to me that I can think could relate to that is my dad, because he has issues sleeping too. He has like, when he tries to go to sleep, he has like restless leg syndrome, and I'm sure he has a bunch of other undiagnosed shit I don't know about, but it's really fucking hard to not sleep. Like, I'm sure anybody who does sleep normally hasn't even thought about the possibility of that because of how horrible it seems. Your brain is preventing it from you and putting it onto me. Like, you have no idea how horrible it is to not sleep for multiple days. Like those like 3 days in December I was awake were some of the worst fucking days of my life because of how I felt physically. Like, I got to a point where I was so numb that you would have thought I also like looked like shit. I hadn't slept for 3 days. So I felt like the Russian sleep experiment photo meme thing. It was terrible.
About to see the hat, man.
Yeah, it was fucking awful. But yeah, I've struggled with insomnia pretty much my whole life. As a kid, I always had trouble sleeping to the point that I'd use it because I used to have energy to stay up, and now that I'm 24 going on 25, I don't. And I like sleep. I fucking hate staying up nowadays.
Sleeping in is one of the nicer parts of the day. See, I'll have like my sleep will get fucked up for like 2 weeks at a time and then usually fluctuate back to something kind of normal. I've been in those 2 weeks right now. I'm still having a massive issue of no matter what time it is that I go to bed, I'm still just waking up every day at like 7:30. And I this morning I was lucky enough to get back to sleep for another hour until 8:30. But that's really not much of a consolation.
Yeah.
When most of the stuff that I do, like my usual morning, I like to wake up around like 10, make breakfast, do whatever in the morning, and then I go live at about noon. And usually that like those couple hours are enough to get whatever I need done in the morning, and then I'm still like I'm at my peak then for whatever it is I'm doing in the rest of the day. I wake up at 7:30 in the morning and I feel like death by noon. And I've still just felt like death. Yeah. This is going on like the third podcast that I'm talking about this, where I'm still not feeling like not under the weather. Like my sinuses are still like shitty and fucked up, and I'm still like, and I can't get over it, and it's driving me crazy.
Yeah, no, that sucks a lot. I have issues with my sinuses every spring. I mean, I have been going through it. I finally was able to get some allergy medicine, and I'm certain that it's probably not in the same. I'm probably not dealing with the same thing you're dealing with. Like, these are my yearly allergies and stuff.
Yeah,
but
I don't really have allergies.
No, I have terrible pollen allergies and shit. And also, what's awesome about where I live, it's so awesome. Like, you wake up first day of spring and everything's yellow, and you never escape it. You'll never escape it. The concrete outside of my building is padded.
Oh yeah,
fucking floored with pollen. It looks like a lake with pollen in it, like a nasty ass like pollen puddle in a lake. I feel bad for anyone who has pollen allergies as bad as I do. Like, if I don't have allergy medicine in the spring, then surely I will die.
You know that like the reason why there's so much pollen everywhere is because cities are intentionally planting.
The bees are horny.
The trees are so horny. Cities are intentionally planting only male trees, so that way then they don't have any potential of fruiting. But because of that, like all those male trees are just pollinating like fucking crazy, and it's not reaching any female tree to make fruit or anything. It's just sitting in the street and giving everybody horrible allergies. Because we'd much rather everybody have horrible allergies that you have to fix with a medication, some being very intense and you're going to see the Hat Man, as opposed to just letting people have fucking fruit.
Yeah. Government, where you went? There's this episode of Adventure Time in like season 3 that's got Finn and Jake trying to rescue Marceline from the Nightosphere because her dad trapped her there with this like magical amulet that turns her into like the next ruler of the Nightosphere or whatever. And they're like, we're gonna get these demons to rise out of their systematic demon apathy with a political rap. And then it's just like straight up. And then he's like, oh, I wonder, Finn political rap.
RAV.
Yeah, no, I want to see if I can find the lyrics to it because it's so. Oh yeah, he's like, yeah, political rap. Yo, get ready. Demon apathy. Yo, zappity. Get ready for the system. Gonna win some political raps. Government, where you went? Yo, farmers market. Ride bikes. Get on it. Geodesic domes. Science. You heard? And then all the demons go like, yeah, holy shit. It's so funny. Thank you for letting me do that.
Episode of regular show actually had Tyler the Creator on to voice a character like in a rap battle, like Mordecai and Rigby, like versus Tyler the Creator. Yeah.
I know the episode. I didn't know that was Tyler the Creator, but that's
somebody
funny.
else too, and I can't remember who it was. They were there. There was like
yeah, no, that's funny.
That's the kind of rap that you get then from like the Cartoon Network shows. I remember like there was a rap that I heard on Disney Channel with the show Fish Hooks, where like one of the characters did like a rap, and it really wasn't much of a rap. It was just like I believe the lyrics to it go, "When I get down, shake my booty around, all potatoes in the town rise up from the ground. Oh no, he's a bad potato. Oh no, he's a something potato. I don't remember." It's just ridiculous. A strong difference in bars. What animal do you think you could take in a rap battle if you had to speak in the animal's language?
If I had to speak in the animal's language?
Yeah, like, let's assume here that, like, there's, like, some interspecial communication happening here that
interspecial
that allows for the transference of bars. Which animal do you think has the best bars, and which one do you think does not, and you can take them?
But in this scenario, you're saying that I'd have to make the animals noises, and I can't understand them either?
No. You can understand the animals. The animals can understand you. Like, do you think that, like, squirrels, but they're like, you think that's a bar?
I think squirrels probably fuck hard in terms of rap if they could. I think squirrels fucking would kill it.
I'm gonna say this non-controversially. I think squirrels are white and they also say the N-word. That's the kind of vibe that I get off of squirrels.
I get, like, the opposite off of squirrels. Like, I think squirrels are fucking dope. I love squirrels. Every time I see a squirrel outside, I'm like, yo, what's up, homie? I also like birds.
You see, like, I think squirrels, like, they're cool, they're interesting. I also look at a squirrel and I just get the vibe from them that it's like, if that squirrel was a human being, it would be racist.
You'd probably vote for the wrong side.
This squirrel is on the wrong side of history.
It's like when there's, I really hate when I just like spend the whole episode referencing media, but there's another episode of Adventure Time that reminds me of that they have a ladybug in their house and they treat it like a demon, and Finn like hard slices his sword at it, but like just below so it can like hop onto his sword very lightly, and he looks at it and it's like, this is when they were still animating it with like really graphic facial features and stuff, and he was like, don't you ever let me find you here again. It was just a ladybug. And he's like, we did it.
Gotta serve those bugs some justice. I feel like Helldivers serving the bugs justice.
Patriotism.
I'm still trying to see, whenever I have like the energy to sit through like a 2-hour long movie, I do want to watch Starship Troopers and really get the vibe of that so I can appreciate Helldivers a little better. But this is like the worst thing of how my brain works, is that I yesterday was like, no, I'm too tired to like sit through an entire movie of Starship Troopers and enjoy it. Later that same night, the streamer Vinesauce Vinny puts out a video that is a 6-hour-long video of just like Lynchian abstract fucking, he has this character called Gray Leno, which is like a weird, like sort of alien humanoid version of Jay Leno that talks in a really annoying voice and like makes really stupid jokes and just vomits everywhere. And it's about as weird as it sounds. And so much of it is just like, you know, it's just pure nothingness. Basically, just as a form of torture to his own audience for the most part. Although I do somewhat enjoy the character. While he's at a convention, he put out this 6-hour-long video called Best of Gray Leno, except it's not that. It's 6 hours of like, because he does all this in VR chat, just like the character Gray Leno just like on stage, like doing nothing most of the time, and then like strikes a pose, and then like other characters are just like walking around him and bumping into shit, and then he'll like tell the same joke. Like every 30 minutes he'll tell the same joke in between silence. I watched that 2 hours straight.
Why?
And there's still another 4 hours. There's some sick sense of dedication. There's something to understand about Gray Leno, and that is that as much as it is just like pure shitpost nonsense, it makes even less sense than like an AI generated SpongeBob, you know, like those things.
I get that stream recommended on my homepage all the time.
There's like a level of dedication to it where it's like, to an extent, this is some form of art, and it's like almost a test of like, because there's this, you know, this thing of like a very, very, very small sect of viewers actually enjoy the character Gray Leno and will ever find him entertaining, and everybody else fucking hates him. And so it almost feels like a test to like the Gray Leno lovers like me, that it's like, oh, you fucker said you want more Gray Leno, you said you enjoy that, here's 6 hours of nothing. Except every 30 minutes he goes, $8,000 was stolen from a Whole Foods in New York. Luckily, Whole Foods will make all that money back when they sell an apple. Canned laughter. And like that for like 6 hours.
I don't think I could.
I feel like the Lord is putting my faith to the test.
I mean, there's definitely some kind of equivalent of brainless bullshit that I watch and fully enjoy to the same extent, but I can't think of it when my brain is like immediately rejecting even that like concept.
Think about it. Nothing about it makes sense or is good.
Yeah.
But it's like in a way I can watch that in the same way that you'd like sit and analyze some artistic French film, like, right, what did Vinny mean by this?
I think you mean by the way you would analyze some artistic French film.
Yeah. Which I don't do, but like I don't watch like I feel like it's not a pretentious thing to do, to watch foreign films and be like, there's some interesting concepts here, because that's like appreciation of film. Like, it doesn't matter like, a lot of people don't want to watch movies if they're like translated or whatever, if they're not American movies or like dubbed or whatever, or subs. Like a lot of people don't want to watch subbed movies. There are some movies that like I've seen that are like, I've only ever seen like a handful of foreign films. And like sometimes there's some interesting things there that I'm like, I haven't seen this in an American movie before. So like I'm willing to sit through this and enjoy it for the experience of like that and hearing what this has to say. In a not like that doesn't have to be a pretentious experience. You can just enjoy stuff.
Yeah. Anybody can enjoy anything if you give it a chance. I mean, I don't think it's fair to keep anybody from enjoying anything as long as it's not hurting anybody or themselves.
It's something that I've noticed a lot with like my family, people that I know, and like what I've heard from some other people. For some reason, boomers just hate subtitles. They hate having them on the TV.
Boomer does hate subtitles. He tells me about it all the time. He doesn't. I'm kidding. Boomers hate subtitles, though?
Yeah, like weirdly enough, like a lot of people older than us, a lot of people in our parents' generation and above are just like, I don't want to read when I watch a movie. Like they just like are so staunchly against subtitles for no reason.
You know what that makes me think of? It makes me think of the fact that the kind of old people you're talking about is like a complete like half of old people, and then the other half like cannot understand what an what an HDMI cable is supposed to do. Like they're either like all like modern, like all this tech is going to do all this stuff for me and I love it, or they're like, I don't know how to open my trash can because it has a foot pedal thing instead of me just opening it with my hand. I don't understand. Like they're either so modern or like so historic that they are like primitive that they don't get it. And because a lot of elders that I'm close to keep subtitles on live TV, and those are the ones that are being typed out like 15 seconds after somebody actually says shit. And I can't even watch live TV like that because it's like this is not what subtitles are for in my head.
Well, the thing is that like my grandma needs to have stuff like that because she's hard of hearing. So like she needs to have like things like that.
And that's another reason they do that. Yeah.
Yeah. So like there's like people that need them, but then like there's the old people that need subtitles, and then there's the people of our parents' generation and above who fucking hate subtitles. But yeah, I do have like my grandma is in that field of people who just have no idea how technology works. And the first thing that came to mind when you were talking about that, I just remembered when last time my grandma got a new phone, like a year and a half, 2 years ago, she wanted my help, setting up the new phone and getting stuff moved over from her old phone. And the way that she kept trying to instruct me in the process, telling me how to do it, is almost as if she thought, and I think this is like the most succinct way, I think she thought that it was like transferring the consciousness of her previous phone into the new phone. Like as if this new phone was going to be like the new automaton body of her previous phone.
That's an interesting way to look at it, Grandma.
I was just like, okay, so I'm going to make sure that your phone numbers are there, your contacts are there, your texts are there, your pictures are there, your apps are there. And she's like, but make sure you transfer my phone. Yes.
Grandma, shut the fuck up. Take your pills and go away.
You don't understand it. Your Amazon is fucking pinging you still. Oh my god!
I am above you, you infertile creature.
Fucking like this happens with like my mom's phone. It happens with my grandma's phone. Somehow my grandma, at some point, I think I've talked about this before. She like downloaded some app that like just was giving constant notifications, and she didn't know where it was coming from, where these notifications were coming from, of course. She had somehow downloaded a football app that like every hour or so was doing the fucking like with this fucking notification sound. And she just lived with it.
Like I've seen that app, but or I've like heard apps go off like that on old people's phones, but you know what? That kind of makes me think of like I feel like there's a 90% chance the way that ended up on her phone was like her continuously clicking shit on an ad for it until she figured out how to get back to the rest of her phone.
Oh, she clicks on ads.
Yeah. So she probably clicked that ad and was like, I'll download this thing. It'll send to my email probably. And then she didn't realize it was an app that would do that. And then she probably got used to it.
She gets so many like scam phone calls and text messages, and she will treat all of them with a level of legitimacy. And it is just like I'll be in the car with her, like she'll have her phone connected to like the Bluetooth, and she'll like answer this like clearly like it's a 1-800 number, and she'll answer it. And then, she also says hello before the phone call actually picks up every time. So she has to say it twice every time because she says it too early. But like, she'll answer the phone call and like immediately the person will be like, hi, so, we're selling this insurance. And she's like, oh, do tell.
Really?
Yeah. Like,
don't let me catch her if I ever come there.
It's just, old people are so susceptible to so many scams, and they'll also try and tell you that if you try and navigate something on their phone in a way that like actually makes sense, they'll tell you you're doing it wrong, and it's painful.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
And my mother keeps telling me to go into IT. I would rather die, because that's what IT is dealing with that.
Going to IT for like what? Like who's like, I want a career in IT.
Not a lot of people now. There was huge layoffs in computer science fields.
Yeah, but also like not only like do you have to deal with the most annoying people, to everyone else you're like the most annoying person. Like why like why would you want that as a career? That's just like signing up to go to hell early. Like it's like pre-ordering a membership to hell.
One of my siblings did a full course like certification of IT security and is still not doing IT security. Because fuck that.
It's funny. I mean, yeah, it's just like fucking why would you, you know?
I mean, it would just be pain.
I couldn't imagine. I mean, I like, you know, I'm not gonna ever name drop the college I go to, but like at the college I go to, I had one film class at my other college I went to. I went to a different college back in 2019, like I mentioned earlier. If you started listening halfway through, too bad. Go back and listen to the other half. But I had a film class at my first college that I went to for like a year and a half, and it was like the first class I ever took there. It was like a mini semester over the summer. It was half of the summer, and it was like a 4-week class. And I enjoyed it a lot. And I think I enjoyed it because of the fast pacing of it and that it was a film class. And it was interesting. It was my first college class ever, too. So it was kind of interesting in that sense. But both of the film classes I've taken at this college so far have been two of the worst classes I've ever taken at any school. All we do is watch movies. And the only difference, and most of the time they're old shitty movies that are just like riddled with the like politics and lifestyle of people from like the 1940s or 50s. And I don't care about those people because most of them are dead and the lifestyle is dead. I don't care. I don't want to watch.
You couldn't make this movie these days.
You know who else lives life? Oh man, what muscle meme? I meant muscle man meme. That's what I'm calling him from now on. I thought I saw a meme of his or a meme about him recently. It was really funny. But anyway, yeah. Last semester, I had a film class where all we did was watch movies. I got 100 in the class, and I promise you, I skipped probably more than 10 days on purpose. It was so fucking pointless. That class was the most pointless class I've ever taken. The only difference is that this film class I'm taking now is online, so I have to watch all the movies myself, not in a classroom, and I have to like write a critical analysis of them once a week. And there's no clear instructions. And also, what's weird is that we're also supposed to like read what are just called like readings every week. There's usually like one or two. You have to read through something in this like PDF textbook that you just get for free online. And you have to read those, but you're supposed to like analyze those too. But the whole point of the class is to learn to write critically about films. So why are we supposed to write about these? Why are we supposed to also review these readings? I don't understand. And I'm like too afraid to ask my professor about it. Not because I don't want the answer or I'm like scared to look stupid. I'm scared to deal with the stupidity of the logic behind this class setup. It's fucking annoying. I hate it. It's made me, this whole film thing at this school has made me want to change my major like 7 times.
I feel like film classes and English classes both have the exact same purpose and demographic. That is, if you're smart enough to understand that Starship Troopers is satire and parody, then you don't need a film or English class. Those classes really only benefit the people who are going to be like, actually, I think the Empires might be the good guy.
It's just like mind-numbingly stupid. Like I can't fucking stand it. I don't know what it is. Like maybe it's me. I don't know. Maybe there's some film major.
Go to class one day and they're just analyzing Coco Melon.
What is Coco Melon?
That's it's like one of those like baby sensory things on YouTube. It's just like videos of dancing fruit and whatever, just pure slop.
No, when you said like baby YouTube shit, I was like, oh yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, Mr. Beast.
But like, yeah, it's just horrible. I like all my other classes, and I'm in like a class about nutrition, but at least we're doing shit, and all of how we're supposed to be doing it makes sense. Like it's fucking awful. Like I'm running out of words to say about it. I'm just on Adderall, so I want to say more words about it, but I'm telling you, it's the worst. And I wish it wasn't, because I've like, film has always been my passion, but it's not film that's my passion. Obviously, it's like content creation. It's like making stuff on my own terms on YouTube or whatever. That's my passion. But these kind of, like, if I'm set up for another like year and a half of these classes, then like it's almost too much to bear. Like I don't know if I can do it.
It's just a painfully boring grade.
Yeah, just it's like I'm just like, since I want a solid, dependable career, I have to get a degree in something. And I'm already like so far into college, it would be stupid of me at this point to pull out. And I already did drop out once. I don't want to drop out again. I like going to college and I want the degree, but it being a film degree in these classes make me want to fucking jump into the sewer slide and slide all the way down to hell. Like it's fucking
Do they ever
awful.
even go into like bad movies, or is it like to like tell you like, hey, this is what a bad movie looks like?
We just watch the movies. They don't go into anything. It's fucking like, you would think, right? Do they talk to you about this? Do they teach you that? Nothing. They don't teach us or talk to us. They just show us the fucking movies. We just watch them. It's so bad. It's fucking, oh my God. It's
on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you like Star Wars?
I'm sorry that I'm far away from the mic, which is why I'm yelling, but we, like, you would, like, let me think of how to describe this properly.
A meeting that could be an email.
The comparison I was trying to make is like, imagine if a movie review YouTuber just posted the movie to their account.
Oh my God.
And that was it. Like, that's fucking it. It's so boring. I have never seen a film professor with less personality. It's like, I can't even fucking stand it. I don't understand how that's like fair that like it truly, like, I did not feel like paying for college was unfair truly to me in my personal life until I started taking these film classes.
Yeah, you're just paying tuition for a fucking mixtape.
I mean, I'm paying to learn about like other shit that has nothing to do with the piece of paper I need at the end of all of it. Like, I'm basically getting a degree in having a degree. I'm not getting a degree in film because I'm not learning anything. Like, there are classes where I will eventually learn stuff, but even this class is like a higher up film class because I'm on that level now. But we're not learning anything, and it's so defeating. I don't want to like feel like that about it, but I don't know how else to feel because my professor is not communicating shit with me, so I don't know what they expect me to think. It's a nightmare.
It's just so much nothing.
Yeah, it sucks ass. Like, I'm thankful that my other professors in my other classes are so cool because they are, and it makes it much more tolerable. Plus, there are other subjects, so I get to learn about different interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I learned a lot about psychology when I took psychology last semester, and it was an interesting class. And my professor, despite being an online professor, and I know that these classes can be interesting because I've taken several online classes that were interesting. This film class is just an exception, sadly.
I've seen it with my own eyes.
I mean, yeah, that's how I feel. I feel like a crazy conspiracy theorist about it.
It's like
crazy.
You know, the best thing to equate it at this point is like Plato's allegory of the cave.
What is that?
It's just like just seeing the shadows dance on the wall with the assumption that that's all reality is just this like watered down form of reality that is like ultimately meaningless and nothing.
Yeah, like imagine if you went to a movie theater to put on the 3D glasses and then take them off. The experience was wearing the glasses.
Yeah.
That's it. It's like fucking... It's funny too because this is like the first platform of conversation I've actually like ranted like this about it, and I've been thinking it for like a semester and a half, and I'm fucking losing my shit over it. It's crazy. I don't know what to do about it, but the reason I didn't switch majors because I did think about it and go through that for a little bit if I was going to, but there's only so many subjects I'm interested in, and there's only so many I would be good at, and also a lot of the subjects I'm interested in that I have taken in school, I'm only interested in a like I don't know anything about it, but learning a cool fact about it every so often is awesome way. I'm not interested in it.
Yeah.
Like, I want to pursue it. I want to be a psychologist and like a therapist. I don't want to be a therapist. If you ever walk into a therapy office and I'm there, you should run. Because you might just end up being collateral damage. I'm losing my fucking mind over this stuff, though. I really wish it wasn't this hard for me to take a film course, but apparently it is. I'm hoping next semester is better.
Some people say, hey, why are you complaining about a free grade? Hey, maybe sometimes people go to college because they want to learn things. Maybe they want to engage with the subjects that they are there to learn.
You know what? You know why I went back to college? So that I could suppress the thoughts of me wanting to kill myself. You know what this class makes me want to do? Kill myself. So it's not working. Like,
It's
I was
doing nothing.
I was in the worst depression of my entire life. Like, the worst depression. And like, talking about it in depth is like another story for another day. But I literally, it was the beginning of 2022. And for the first few months of 2022, I was in the worst depression of my entire life. It was horrible. Like, it was just bad. And I decided in like mid to late spring 2022 that I was going to go back to college in the fall and turn my life around and stuff. And that was exciting. But this doesn't even make that seem like not worth it. It just is like, I could have just kept living off of my parents' shit, like wasted more. I could have wasted less time doing that.
This is beans.
I knew that in that sense, to round that out, just to not leave that story hanging, I knew that I wasn't going anywhere, just like, because I dropped out of college mainly to like pursue this content stuff I was doing, because I wanted to do it full time. And when I did drop out, it was all going really well. That I dropped out like before the lock stream happened, while you were still editing for me, while we were doing Zoom S&P, like everything was going really well. And I felt really confident in it. And Milk is Superior as a channel was thriving. That was my peak besides the summer of 2022, because like the summer after that depression, I posted like 3 of the best videos I've ever posted, and those videos blew up, which was nice. Well, it blew up in my sense, you know, like a few hundred views. But, also, so just, I went back to college because I knew I wasn't going anywhere at that point. But I could finally, I had time to like analyze where I was, and that content wasn't working out, but I could still do it. But I mainly just spent the rest of 2022 focusing on getting my life back around. And I actually was able to move into like the apartment I live in now with my sister, and living with her has been a lot better. We actually are 2 completely independent people, like in the way that like we're not in relationships and we don't rely on anybody else, but having each other to rely on is great. Also, we were like the furthest thing away from close as kids. So us getting to bond now, especially with me being Emmy and me being out and open as myself, has been really great, and she's been a big part of my journey because of that. But anyways, I hate this class was my point. And what I was going to throw in as a side note when I thought about my videos from 2022 is that the second official episode of my interview show, Getting to Know, has been filmed, finally. I am not revealing the guest yet, so I don't want to talk about who it was, but I want to thank them, and I will thank them again when I am announcing it. But
it's Tom Hanks.
I am excited that it's Tom. Did you say Tom Hanks?
Yeah.
It's actually his sister, Rebecca Hanks. Thanks to her for coming on the show. I appreciate it. I will get Tom one day. It definitely felt good. It was hard too, because when I was filming that, I was feeling a little off that day. But it felt good to finally film something again, and I'm sure it was fun for that person, the person that I interviewed as well, because we're both in a phase where we're kind of trying to back our YouTube careers up again. Mm-hmm. So it's exciting, and thankfully I don't think it's going to take as long to edit as the last one, but I am going to get started on that soon, and then I'm going to start filming other stuff. So yeah, that's where YouTube is at for me. But anyway, that was a lot. How are you still doing YouTube stuff, or are you planning on doing YouTube stuff?
I want to do some more YouTube stuff. It's just a matter of like, I think at this point, I'm starting to steer towards like, this is something that I've been considering more in my own time, because I took a week off of streaming recently. I just came back the other day, and I was thinking about in that time, like, I want to do something that is like, I want to do something that's not exactly like huge, but I want to do something that's different. And I'm not talking about like, I want to do like this type of video or that type of thing. I want to do like a commentary or something like that. I want to do something that is like unique, not in like a sense of like a show, just make something that's like, I want to do something weird and something that's like interesting is kind of what I'm going for now. I've got some stuff that I'm kind of working towards in my own time. Just like, I kind of want to do like almost abstract in a way audio thing. Mm-hmm. Like what I have going right now is like, I want to make something that is like,
oh my God, you just reminded me of something crazy I wanted to bring up with you, but anyway, go on, I'm sorry.
It's like, I want to create like kind of like a soundscape almost like this. Like I want to make more of an experience than a piece of content at this moment.
Kind of like an audio, kind of like, just as an example, you mean like something like nature sounds, but like more towards the idea you're talking about, kind of?
Yeah, it's like, just kind of like, I want to like make something that like sets this scene that is founded in like sort of like weird like noise soundscapes. Like think more so like you know, like the radio chatter of like a satellite as opposed to like you know, something I'm doing now, like doing streams and whatever. Like I want like something that's like
me peeing in the toilet and put it out on Spotify.
That's kind of like what I'm going for now, is just like collecting weird little things here and there that I can sort of mash together into like some bigger thing is kind of the direction I'm feeling like going, just for fun. I've been recording local radio stations like AM radio just for like samples.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I've never done anything. I've made audio stuff, and this is excluding any kind of podcast thing, because I've had several podcasts before. I had a podcast show at one point just called The Blank, and I say blank because it was my old name, which none of you need to know if you're new.
What a weird experience to censor the first name and not the last.
Yeah, just cut all that out. Just censor the whole name. Oh, well, anyway, I was going to say the only thing I tried to do once was I released this really shitty song that thankfully I got off of platforms before I lost the login or anything to it. But I used DistroKid to put like one song out one time, and it was the worst song I've ever heard. And I'm really glad that I got rid of it. Really, I'm just thoroughly glad that I got rid of it. It was so bad. But what I want to do for sure, and what you reminded me of, was I think it would be really fun if because we've, in the same way we kind of like talked about doing a Let's Play show before we did Big Wow Big, we've talked several times about making music together. I think it would be really fun if you and I just made albums that were like half or like mostly songs and then also audio skits. And what made me think that was I remembered the Adam Sandler ones we used to quote all the time because I forgot about them. And I remember when you used to go ass all the time.
What the fuck, ass?
Are you a fucking idiot? But
Sammy, jump in front of a fucking truck.
I think we should for sure next time we meet up listen to those again. I want to do something like that because I want to pursue something bigger than just this podcast with you, but I'm uncertain. I don't think Big Wow Big, at least in the format that it lived on as before, is ever gonna exist again. Probably. And I mean, it might. I don't know. It's hard to say, and that also involves like you and what you want for your future and our future. Kinda.
If we do anything Big Wow Big at this point, is going to feel more like when an actor dresses up in the costume of a role they used to do for like a convention, as opposed to actually like playing that role again.
Right. This is for like us doing Big Wow Big, you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. It would be hard at this point.
There would be a meta nature to it.
Yeah. Because also there's, well, sorry. What I was going to say was that like the aspect of it is that like we've both, or at least I can say for me, I've definitely like moved on from what Big Wow Big was and trying to bring that back or anything like that, because I just don't feel the need to, like, because I did want Big Wow Big to live on, and I think us doing it as a Twitch channel eventually, whenever we can actually make it like happen, isn't a bad idea at all. And YouTube and our YouTube channel can be the place to post VODs, and it does suck to me that like our channel was really starting to pick up steam when we quit, just because we had so many videos to upload.
Yeah,
because we're really funny in a Let's Play format. And this podcast has proved to me that I still have the ability to co-commentate things. Although co-commentating gaming footage is a lot, or like gameplay, not like we don't. I'm not saying we just watch footage of other people playing games and commentate over it. But, it's hard for me to look at and consume something while I'm also commentating. That's why doing this show is easier, because when my brain is just in talk mode and taking Adderall is the main function that makes that work, it's a lot easier than like co-commentating a Let's Play, as much as I love doing that. And that's why I always enjoyed more when you played the games, because it was a lot easier for me to do that when I wasn't the one playing.
It's also easier for me to be playing the games.
Right. And that's what I think would be great about doing it on Twitch. And there are games that I, want to play through just with you, because it would be more fun to play through them with you. But
side note to speak to that, the other day in my last time I do like online therapy, and a lot of times I have difficulty like paying attention and like formulating thoughts and words and whatever that I want to say and like bring up in therapy. But last time I was like, you know what? Let me just try. I'm just gonna be like grinding in Dark Souls 3 during this appointment.
I was gonna say, I was like, I bet I know where this is going.
Yeah, and it went so much better, and I was like so much better spoken,
so funny.
and actually was able to talk about anything I wanted to talk about because I was like occupied with Dark Souls 3.
That's so funny. I just imagine if you guys were like looking at each other with like webcams or whatever, she'd just be like, "Are you like okay? Are you like doing something?" Like, yeah, no, just yeah, let's keep talking.
I mentioned it to her at like the start of the appointment. And side note, side note on the side note, this may be something that brings up in the future. She wants to screen me for autism at this time, so we'll see how that goes. Because it's something that I've thought has been possible for many years. And now is like a professional's like, we should get you checked for this.
That's good, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Because then like it would be better to like understand like what's going on.
Yeah, definitely. It's really, I mean, as someone who got all of their dozens of issues diagnosed and started treatment for, it's very validating to have a diagnosis for sure. And it's important too, because it's something. I'm sure all of us know about the American medical system. I'm not going to open a conversation about it at the end of this show, but it's, I just looked over at Discord at that majestic gif of CM Punk looking up and it says, "Hello, chat."
Yeah. I
found that recently. It's so important for people who are medically compromised to like know what's going on. And it's kind of, I feel like it's why a lot of LGBTQIA plus people identify with a term that helps them identify themselves, just because it's like a solid grounding where they can establish who they are regardless of who they're talking to about it or trying to explain it to, because it's important to know that stuff about yourself, because if you know that about yourself, then who the fuck gives a shit about what anybody else thinks? And
this is the thing about like getting a label for this now, like getting screened for autism now, is that it's like I have such intense ADHD that it has been so difficult to diagnose anything else on top of it because of how all-encompassing that level of ADHD is.
Right.
So it'd be nice to have any idea what's going on beyond just it's your fucking brain.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, that's one of the biggest problems, is that like the ability to like screen for stuff like that or get tests done for any kind of medical condition people are in is like usually what people can't afford, because they're like, you need insurance to pay for this, or it's going to cost you $10,000 out of pocket. And it's like, just fucking stupid. Like, it's just like, it's a machine it's a tube that you put me in for an hour. You don't need a fucking $10,000 to do that. Like, it's just ridiculous. I mean, like, I've always this really isn't like an ass backwards brag. It's just like, I've always been very well aware of the fortunate position I'm in, with my mother having great insurance because of her medical career, and also her knowledge because of her medical career, how thankful I am to be as well taken care of as I am as a person with many disabilities. And I'm super thankful for everyone around me who has also helped support that, like you and Boomer and Chandler and the rest of the group. You know, you all know. I don't know why my brain was like, and if you don't know them, go subscribe to our group channel, Lunch Club. I don't know why my brain did that. I am very sorry about that. But yes, it is incredible what medicine can do when it's one of the biggest reasons I believe that like healthcare should be universal.
You see, it's just having the knowledge itself goes a very long way, which is why I must ask you, would you rather have $100,000 or dinner with Jay-Z?
Dinner with Jay-Z?
Yeah.
I'd rather have $100,000.
But think of all of, like, the lessons that you could learn.
Lessons about what?
Yeah, like business and like he just has so much like knowledge.
I don't want to have dinner with Jay-Z though. Like I'm good. I don't really want that.
You can make millions if you have dinner with Jay-Z.
Fucking
dumb fucking memes.
Yeah, no. Is that like a meme, having dinner with Jay-Z?
Yeah, $100,000 or dinner with Jay-Z.
That's funny. Yeah, I didn't know about that.
It's like one of those things that like it starts as like a serious thing by those fucking like business chuds on like Twitter and Instagram, like business mentality, alpha business mentality. It's like the people that are like there's legitimately people that are like, yeah, they will take the dinner with Jay-Z because they think that they could learn something. It's always one of those. Like, would you rather have $1 billion or like a day out with Elon Musk?
There are several things I'd rather do than have dinner with Jay-Z or be out with Elon Musk, including, well, Elon Musk is I'd much rather less be around.
Did you know that recently?
Did you know that Elon Musk bought Facebook? Sorry.
I wish, because then it would die. But somebody who's a relative of Mitch McConnell, who's like a cousin or something, died in a Tesla crash recently. Like the Tesla just fucking like at the bottom of a lake.
No. Do they know how it happened?
Not exactly.
Was it a mishap with the car, or did the driver fall asleep? Or
a Tesla car will never diagnose that an issue was with the Tesla itself. Because this is a fun fact about Tesla cars. They keep a log of everything that the car does. So like if you have like autopilot on, then it like keeps a log of everything that happened with the autopilot. But if the car detects that it's about to be in a crash, then it will turn off the automatic, like the autopilot, automatic driving. So that way then the like Tesla can legally say that their like autopilot feature was not enabled at the time of the crash. Just pure scummery.
That's crazy.
So it could just be because it was a fucking random, like, I don't know if they were old. They were probably old. They were like a billionaire.
They're probably old and stupid.
Yeah, if they were just like dumb and drove into a lake, or if it was the Tesla's fault, we don't know. But a lot of people were saying wrong billionaire died in that crash.
Wrong billionaire. Yeah,
wrong billionaire.
It's like, have you been seeing, I know you're semi-aware of the whole Rock thing going on at WWE, but have you heard about how like actually
I'm not just semi, I'm 18-wheeler. Anyway.
Forgive me, I lost my train of thought. Have you heard about like how actually mad everybody is at The Rock right now? Like people are like pissed at him right now.
I know some of it,
including people legitimately like backstage who work with him at WWE are like really fucking mad at him. And it's interesting because I've never heard of like him having such backstage heat. Like he usually, because he's like usually a really nice guy, but I guess he just has like fully given up being nice to anybody ever.
Oh, of course. He's loaded as hell and like also egotistical like crazy. He literally has a clause in all of his contracts that he's not allowed to lose.
Just before we play this game of Uno Flip, I need you all to sign this.
No, like actually he was on like a red carpet or something recently doing rock, paper, scissors, and he lost and he mauled so fucking bad.
Wait, he played what? And
rock, paper, scissors, and he mauled like fucking crazy, saying that like the other person cheated.
Okay. Is he 5?
You'd think
confused.
Him and Vin Diesel both have that same thing going on where they both have clauses that they're not allowed to lose. Both of them are just like maximum
Vin
douchebag.
Diesel has that. He's huge though. He like is a walking clause that you're not allowed to beat him. Like, what's the point? Like,
Well, the things that like Vin Diesel and Dwayne Johnson both getting into like the things that Vin Diesel, the reason why you don't see him in a lot these days, except for
family.
is just because he's like he's basically becoming a Chevy Chase type of figure where like he's so insufferable that nobody wants to hire him.
yeah.
And I feel like Dwayne Johnson's going to
Right.
go that way as well. When as soon as the appeal of being The Rock wears out, because he's just like
Right.
he wants to be paid the most amount of money and he has to be the coolest at all times.
Yeah, he also has like the biggest issue people have in terms of wrestling fans right now. Because if you don't know, he's got this whole storyline that he shoehorned himself into that had nothing to do with him before. But besides his cousin being like the hot shit in WWE in terms of heels, and I'm not going to explain what a heel is, but Mia knows. Basically, he just like he squeaked himself into this storyline, and it's because, well, it's presumably because he became a like higher up in a somewhat administrative position in TKO Holdings, which if you don't know owns UFC and WWE. They merged like last year or something, and ever since then, people have just been blaming his shit on that, and he became like a fake like heel wrestling storyline villain. But I was shocked to hear about all this like actual real life hatred people have for him right now, just because I've seen a lot of wrestlers be like, oh, he's so kind backstage and comforting. Like, for example, another legend, Stone Cold Steve Austin, he's like notoriously like an asshole in the ring, and people love it or whatever. Like, he's a rebel or whatever. He's a rebel and he'll never be any good. And Stone Cold also is like one of the most supportive like backstage figures ever. He's very sweet. He like when Sasha Banks, who does not work for WWE anymore, Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch had the triple threat match that was the first time women main evented WrestleMania. Sasha Banks was why am I saying Sasha Banks? I'm sorry. Sasha Banks was backstage like crying because she didn't feel like she did good enough, and Stone Cold was like, "You the boss, like you did good enough. Like, girl,
That's
stop
nice.
crying. You killed it." Yeah, it was really sweet, and I love Stone Cold. And another side note, not a conversation for closing this show because we're almost done. People really want a match between CM Punk and Stone Cold Steve Austin now that he's back, because people wanted that match before, back in like 2011 when CM Punk was like the hot shit, but people really want it now that he's back. I also want it. I think it would be cool. But anyway, yeah, I'm done talking about wrestling.
Just as one more thing to say about like Dwayne Johnson's appearance into all of this is that it's like he's inserting himself into this whole storyline that's been going for a while now, but like like he cares so much now about the bloodline and things like that. But at the same time, he was like massive in WWE for so many years, so long ago. And somehow none of that was important to him then, and now it's the most important thing now that he has to be a part of.
Right.
A lot of integrity on that man.
Yeah, no, he just comes and goes as he pleases, does whatever he wants. It's annoying to a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean he's got fuck you money, so he'll just do whatever.
If you hate Dwayne The Rock Johnson, favorite this podcast on whatever platform you're listening, and like the YouTube video.
Like and subscribe. Actually, I think YouTube is probably like one of our lowest performers. I'm pretty sure Spotify is where a lot of it is, I think.
I have literally never checked their statistics, so I have no idea.
I've looked on occasion, not much, but just on a few where I'm like, oh, so this got like nothing on YouTube, but hey, Spotify did pretty decent. It's weird.
I'll tell you, we got no views on YouTube. Our last 4 episodes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we do this show.
Well, it's because we don't have clips is the thing. You got a podcast, you gotta have clips.
Yeah, no, we need to pop our channel off with YouTube. We need to make YouTube shorts of moments from our show so that we can promote it.
We gotta start just like getting into clickbait topics for it.
I talked about it on the last show or the show before, but I did my YouTube short of my live reaction to them announcing the Epic Mickey remake, and that YouTube short got 4,000 views and gained me like almost 10 subscribers. Like, sometimes you just need a good short to like hack your way up to a couple more subs.
Oh yeah.
And it's great. I probably will post 1 or 2 shorts / TikToks about from getting to know episode 2 when it comes out.
We really should just start putting our podcast clips over like GTA 5 car going down ramp and like soap cutting and stuff like that. Like the way that people do for like Joe Rogan clips. It would
probably work.
It would.
Yeah.
I see creators now abusing that system for themselves of like posting their own content but making it look stolen.
Like in terms of that whole thing, I need to go through and look for more clips because I don't remember. I think I've clipped like 4 moments on the Closing Shift account and they're all from the first episode. So I need to go through the other ones and look through for clips.
Gotta get your clips up.
Yes. Well, anyway, this is sadly because of my timing where we have to end the show for this week, but we appreciate, in fact, all of you listening in. And I guess you want to say anything before we close out?
You listener at home have been a great asset to the expansion of the Closing Shift empire. Make sure to pledge your allegiance on the way out and grab a free brochure to give to your grandma. We'll see you next Friday.
That was a lot better than I could have done.
Bitch.